Hi, Dr. Atkinson and Lori. This is Mark Silverman at Veritronics doing a video demonstration for you for the call system we've designed for your new project. This is my remote demo kit, and I'm going to show you examples of your panels later on, but I'll be able to show you pretty much everything on what you're seeing here. This is a typical outside room panel, typical inside room panel. We manufacture the system in two different color schemes. Here you see a three-tone beige. We also do a three-tone gray. The basic idea behind what we've designed is when an MA or a nurse goes into a room to work up a patient, they're all cross-trained from what I understand. So they're going to press the nurse color, which is yellow in this case, goes steady on. So every room there's a nurse doing something, the yellow button is on. So that way you know something's going on in an exam room. When the patient is worked up and ready to be seen, they'll turn their light off and press a doctor's color. And we can do this in any order. So right now, Dr. Red has 3 patients worked up and ready to be seen. In the doctor's shared office, I'm going to do a panel like this with 4 lenses, which will be the 4 doctor's colors. You notice it's blinking 3 times in pause, and it keeps cycling through, telling Dr. Red that 3 patients are in exam rooms worked up and ready to be seen. The doctor comes into the exam room area, looking at the outside room panel. Only 1 light's blinking, which is a slow blink, and that's the first room to go to. As the doctor enters the room, they press the switch as they enter. It'll go from slow blink to fast blink, which tells everyone the doctor's in the room with the patient. Automatically, the next room to go to, in the order the patients are worked up, or the order the doctor buttons were pressed in, will go from steady on to slow blink. So the fast blink light is where the doctor is. Room 2, slow blink next, room 1. Anything steady on, rooms 3 and 4 are patients waiting in the doctor's queue. When the doctor's done their exam, doctor leaves the room, turns the light off, looks for the next slow blinking light, and that's where they go next. So throughout the day, the doctor follows the slow blinking light. Fast blink, they're in there. Steady on is patient 3 and higher, waiting to be seen. I'm not sure if you ever change the order of your patients, but it's very common in many practices that we do. If you want to ever move a different patient to the top of your queue, your staff does not have to run around turning lights on and off. They'll simply double tap the doctor's color. You notice room 3 went back to steady on. I reprioritized room 2 is next. So when the doctor leaves 1, the doctor does not know the order's been changed. They're just following the slow blinking light. They'll go into 2, and then the system picks up where it left off, which is room number 3. That's how the doctor's sequencing works. Those will be the first 4 colors in your system. The 5th color is going to be for behavioral health. That would be both inside and outside the exam room. When you press the behavioral health button, I did a 1 light monitor panel in each of the 3 behavioral health offices that will go on. They're all in parallel, and that will tell a behavioral health person that they're needed downstairs in an exam room. I also put a panel upstairs so they can acknowledge that signal and turn it off, which will both turn it off in the behavioral health rooms and in the exam rooms, which will tell the doctor the behavioral health specialist is on their way. The 6th color in the system is going to be used to get a nurse into an exam room. Again, if the doctor needs help from a nurse, we know where the doctor is by the fast blink light. The doctor will always double tap the button. At that point, the master panel will tone, and the assist light will start to blink. The tone gets the staff's attention. The assist light tells the staff or the nurse what room they're needed in. As the nurse gets to the room, they press the button upon entering. It goes steady on, which tells the rest of the practice that the doctor's call has been answered. Then I asked a question when I was up in your office, well, what happens if there's nobody at the nurse's station? So let's show you that. So let's say the doctor's in room 2, there's a patient in room 1 and room 3 being worked up. Doctor has a call for assist, they'll double tap the switch. It found nurses in room 1 and 3 by looking for their steady on light, which brings us back to where we started this, where a nurse logs into a room while they're in a room doing something. But on the other hand, you don't want 2 nurses to answer 1 doctor's call. So whatever nurse presses the button first, their light goes off. The other nurse in the system found, if you will, their light went from blinking back to steady on, which tells the second nurse that somebody else is answering the doctor's call. The first nurse that turned off the light steps into the hallway. There's only one blinking yellow light. That's where the call was initiated from, or where the nurse is needed. As the nurse enters the room, they press the button, it goes steady on. The doctor's call has been answered. We also put one of these buttons for the nurses to log in at the nurse's station. It was when I was at your practice, I asked Meg the question, if you have nurses at the nurse's station and nurses in exam rooms, where should the onus be to answer that call for assistance? And we all thought that it would be a good idea for the nurses to log into the exam room so that they're found on the initial search and they would be responsible for answering the call. So, next to the master panel, I'm recommending we put a one-light switch panel, which is the nurse login. That would go off every time a call for assistance is activated. Of course, the nurse would have to log in for that to happen. And again, the onus would be on that nurse to answer the doctor's call for assistance. From our discussion yesterday, there's a couple things that we wanted to add to the system. One of them is emergency pulls in bathrooms, which we see here. We're going to monitor this on the master panel. Turn it off with the reset button. We'll monitor that on the master panel with that tone, which we call as a piezo. You notice it's much different than the call for assist signal, which was the buzzer, so there's no mistaking the two. Let's see. That pretty much wraps up what we've designed for your practice for the 11 exam rooms and the bathroom. I also recommend we would do like a monitor light outside the bathroom, something like this, or a round lens, something like that, that would indicate there was an emergency signal from that bathroom. We also wanted me to show you what a couple other panels look like. This is what your outside room panel would look like, specifically 6 lights. So it should be doctor, 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 nurse practitioner, behavioral health, call for assistance. The inside room panel, is the call for assist and the behavioral health color. And Dr. Atkinson also wanted to see our elbow switch inside the room as opposed to the buttons, which is this panel here, and I'm showing you again in 2 different colors, the 3-tone gray and the 3-tone beige. Now, in an email I sent to Lori today, and I understand all the text messaging you do, doctor, you're used to it and it works well with your EMR system, but I had another idea. Over here you see our paging keypad. With this pager system, which would go inside each exam room, I can page up to 99 people. I know you don't have that many, but there's plenty of room to grow. I can set up individual paging and or group paging. And when you page someone, I can attach any of 20 pre-programmed text messages. So I can still kind of give you the best of all worlds, which might be faster than you actually typing out a text or an IM, where you enter somebody's pager number on the keypad, press an MSG button, a 2-digit code for the message you want to assign to that page, and then the page button. The page goes out. It takes about a quarter of a second. It's very fast. It's an inter-office pager system. The signal does not go to a satellite and back down to Earth. When that individual or group's pager is activated, it will always display the room number the signal was sent from or where they're needed. And if you've attached a message, it'll display the message also. So your staff would now know where they're needed and why, and come in properly prepared the first time. I think that kind of wraps it up for now. This is a master panel, small version of yours. Yours would actually be 6 colors out to 11 rooms. This panel here we use to signal patient arrival, which you're doing with your EMR system, so that would be kind of redundant. This is what we call a sub-master panel, which we talked about on the phone the other day, that just picks up certain colors for certain rooms. I'm sure Lori and I will talk after you view the video. I hope this helps, makes things a lot clearer for you, and I'm sure we'll talk soon. Thank you for your time.